What is happening, Magnusites? It's time to see what Mr. Fisher had to say about his experience on Justice League. He has done an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, and we are going to go through this. All right? See what he has to say. It says, over the past year, the actor has assailed the filmmaker and studio in harsh but cryptic tweets for what he says was racist and inappropriate conduct. I'm not so indebted to Hollywood that I haven't been willing to put myself out there. So it says here, ever since June 2020, when he fired off a tweet accusing Joss Whedon of gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable conduct on the set of Justice League, the 33-year-old actor has used social media and a series of interviews to lob serious allegations of racist behavior and a cover-up at Warner Brothers. For Fisher, who plays Cyborg in the film, the issue is no longer so much what happened on the set in 2017 after director Zack Snyder was replaced by Joss Whedon, though he's ready to explain that too. His unrelenting focus in recent months has been the way executives first at the Warner Brothers film studio and then at its parent Warner Media handled allegations raised by himself and others. Warner Media has previously said that remedial action was taken as a result in its investigation, but has not elaborated. The spokesperson tells THR that for privacy and legal reasons, our policy is not to publicly disclose the findings or the results of the investigation. Catherine Forrest, a former federal judge who conducted the Warner Media probe, tells THR in a statement that in interviews with more than 80 witnesses, she found no credible support for claims of racial animus or racial insensitivity. A Warner Media spokesperson notes that the company made extraordinary efforts to accommodate Mr. Fisher's concerns about the investigation and to ensure its fullness and fairness, and has complete confidence in the investigation and process. Fisher was raised by a single mother and his grandmother in Lawnside. You from Lawnside? I didn't know you was from Lawnside. I'm Jersey too, bruh. Burlington, you know what I'm saying? Beverly, Burlington County. Yeah, I didn't know you was from Jersey. A community that he notes was the first self-governing black municipality north of the Mason-Dixon line. I didn't know that. He says he felt a new sense of urgency to speak out when the pandemic hit and the Black Lives Matters protesters took to the streets. To Fisher, who had few screen credits playing the half-man, half-machine Cyborg, the first black superhero in the DC film universe, was both a huge career break and a major responsibility. He was mindful that the film was overseen almost entirely by white executives and filmmakers, while Fisher has dropped details and names outsiders have struggled to understand how did Whedon incur his anger. Did Fisher really decline to participate in an investigation that was launched in response to his own complaints? As Warner claimed in September, was Fisher fighting a righteous battle or I've never seen that word before, I ain't gonna even try it, or one he set out on a path that appears to have cost him a place in the DC film universe. Now, in many hours of conversation, Fisher tells his side. Much of his previous reluctance to spell out the story, he says, arose because he didn't and still doesn't want to expose the identities of others who shared their stories with him and investigators. Okay, I see. I'm not looking to have any witnesses lose their jobs. Right. Gotcha. Because if he talks about specific situations, people will know who was there in certain situations and conversations And certain people who were there could point the finger and tell people, like, look, this person said this, get them out of here. Gotcha. Those include some who wouldn't seem to have had any worries about job security. Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa, others who were not involved with the Justice League, also spoke to Fisher, and in some cases, the investigators, about experiences with Wheadon and Jeff Johns, who was co-chairman of DC Films and producer on the film. They include Charisma Carpenter, who recently wrote on social media of Whedon's alleged abusiveness on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and individuals who had worked with Johns of Sci-Fi's Krypton. Damn, all this stuff's coming out like crazy. Fisher got Warner to start an investigation more than 2 years after the first version of the film was released. But he soon found the process to be suspicious. The studio and its parent company seemed to be focused on protecting top executives, he says. The process moved in starts and stops, and when he felt forced to ramp up his public protest, the studio responded with what Fisher calls a deliberate smear. Warner maintains it has done everything necessary to address Fisher's concerns. He still wants an apology. Let me see something here. Wow, this is really, really, really long. I can't read this whole thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to stop it here because I'll be reading for another 10, 15 minutes. What I would like to say is that, I just hope for whoever is involved, that the truth comes to light, that people are righted, for wrongs that have been done to them, whether that be Mr. Fisher, anybody else on set, any other actors or people involved, that the right actions are taken, and people that are not liars are proven to be telling the truth, and people that are lying are proven to be liars, and for all this to go and move along, because amid all this this drama, so to speak, behind this big budget film, people are suffering. You know what I mean? Actors are suffering, directors are suffering, fans are suffering, execs are suffering. Everybody everybody on some level has a headache dealing with this whole debacle with this movie. You know what I mean? So I just hope that everything works out for everybody it's supposed to work out for, and that it should work out for all the good people and the people that just came to give the fans what they wanted and give the fans good entertainment and make $1 billion movie. That's what I want. Alright? For anyone harming people or treating people bad, whatever's coming to them needs to come to them. Whether it's reprimanding or whatever needs to come to them. So post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. I wish you the best of luck in the future, Mr. Fisher. Maybe we'll run into each other one day. And if you all enjoyed my take on half of this very long interview that I've read, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I will read this in parts over the next few hours and finish it up. I hate 10 million subscribers. Woo!